How'd you feel if your 9-year-old went to school and got lessons on the Black Panthers and police brutality and amnesty for illegals?
Well, now you can, because these are all topics included in a 4th grade assigned novels that are in the Wake County School District in North Carolina. Here to discuss and share some examples, Caleb Bonham, Editor-in-Chief of Campus Reform. Caleb, nice to see you this morning.
Hey, good morning.
Are you surprised by this?
I am surprised by this. Gone are the days of 4th graders reading Charlie and the Chocolate Factory or James and the Giant Peach. One Crazy Summer is a book that these 4th graders are required to read in North Carolina, and it is like the Debbie Downer of homework.
But let me give you this. I'll read a quote from you, Caleb. There's a little story time here this morning for you. Here's a quote from One Crazy Summer. Quote, "I was sure they were Black Panthers. They were on the news a lot lately. The Panthers on TV said they were in communities to protect poor black people from the powerful, to provide things like food, clothing, and medical help, and to fight racism."
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous. I mean, this is a story about 3 daughters who think that they're going to go meet their negligent mother and she's going to take them to Disneyland and they're going to meet Tinkerbell. But instead, the mother ships them off to a Black Panther camp, summer camp, and instead of spending time with Mickey Mouse, they're kicking it with the likes of Huey Lewis. You know, the kids in the 4th grade need to be taught, you know, things that encourage creativity or drive that love for reading. And the way to do that is more encouraging texts, not texts that are discussing police brutality and the evil racism that is America.
That are also historically misleading. The Black Panthers killed an awful lot of poor black people, far from protecting them. Okay, Esperanza Rising is another book, basically a propaganda piece of literature, and there's a scene where migrant workers are striking, and here's how it's described. Quote, "The buses and cars screeched to a stop, and immigration officials and police carrying clubs," of course, always clubs, "jumped out and ran after them. What will they do with them?" asked Esperanza. "Will they take them to Los Angeles and put them on the train to El Paso, Texas, and then to Mexico?" said Josefina. "But some of them are citizens," said Esperanza. "It doesn't matter. They are causing problems for the government. They are talking about forming a workers' union, and the government and the growers don't like that." What's hilarious about this is Cesar Chavez, who organized farm workers, hated illegal immigration. Like, these are totally ahistorical.
Exactly. It's not historically accurate, but it's also, it remains consistent with the theme that these 4th graders are picking up, and that is that the police are good for one of 2 things. They're either going to shoot you, as is the case in the summer book earlier, or they're going to deport you, whether you're legal or not. And as we're seeing at the Leadership Institute's Campus Reform, educators are really capitalizing on opportunities to use students to advance political narratives. In California, they are trying to teach consensual sex education courses to K through 12. So kindergartners would be subjected to consensual sex ed classes atop classes that continually beat into their heads the idea that police are nothing but racists who are going to shoot or deport you. It's madness.
Caleb Bonham, we appreciate you joining us this morning. We should mention we reached out to the Wake County School District for a comment, but we did not hear back. Thanks, Caleb.
We're still waiting.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Caleb. Well, a new study says just as many people believe in the Bible as doubt the Bible. Critics say there's no proof of the stories inside it, but our next guest says he has the proof. He joins us live. Coming up.